If you're thinking about buying a house in Summerville, South Carolina, you've got to watch this video to learn more about our wonderful city and the various areas within our city. Did you know that Summerville covers a large area of land and takes about 45 minutes to drive from one end to the other? And because of the size, there are many smaller communities within it, and each of these areas has its own vibe and own characteristics. So we'll give you all the information and break down all those areas to determine which one would best fit you.
All right, so to start things off, I'll tell you more about when we moved to Summerville about 10 years ago. I'd ask someone where something was, and people would say, well, that's in Knightsville, or, oh yeah, that's in Oakbrook. And I honestly had no idea what they were talking about. And I thought that these were just different cities that maybe I hadn't yet heard of or seen. But what I didn't know was that they really weren't other cities at all. They were just specific areas all within Summerville. Unlike Kevin, I'm pretty directionally challenged, so knowing this ahead of time would have saved me tons of confusion.
Okay, so first up, we're going to talk about downtown Summerville. So downtown Summerville is where you're going to find most of the historic homes in the city. And this area is centered around Hutchinson Square and is a network of beautiful older streets with mature oaks and pines. And the houses in this area are generally more expensive than others because it's in walking distance of all the things in the square. And as of now, the average price in this area starts around $600,000, but you'll see a wide range because there are homes in there that go up to the $2 million mark. So moving out of historic Summerville, you might see an area called Lincolnville. So Lincolnville is just a very small community that connects the outskirts of historic Summerville and Ladson along Lincolnville Road.
All right. So if you drive south from historic Summerville, you'll find the second area that we will cover, and it's called Oakbrook. It's an older, more established area of Summerville, and it's primarily centered around Old Charlie Road and Dorchester Road. You'll find a lot of businesses in this area, as well as great established neighborhoods, such as Briarwood, Quell Arbor, and Ashboro. This is a great area to look in if you like the charm and character of slightly older homes, or you love home updating projects that will increase your home's value. Average price in the Oakbrook area currently is from about $320,000 to about $390,000.
So Wescott is going to be the third area of Summerville we're going to talk about, and it's located off Dorchester Road towards the North Charleston area. So Wescott is a golf community developed in the early 2000s with a variety of different individual neighborhoods within it. But in this area, you'll find a couple of other neighborhoods such as Kings Grant, Whitehall, and Cedar Grove. The Wescott area borders North Charleston and has pretty easy access to both Summerville and North Charleston. So currently, average home prices in this area are around $375,000 to $400,000.
Perfect. All right. So Knightsville is our fourth area, and it is west of historic Summerville and borders another more rural town called Ridgeville. Knightsville used to be one of the more rural parts of Summerville, but there are a lot of growth happening here, and this is expected to continue, especially with the Berlin G. Myers Parkway Extension Project, which will increase access to this entire area. Currently, you can get to Knightsville by driving right down Central Avenue from historic Summerville. Without traffic, this drive will only take you about 10 minutes, but at busy times of the day, the commute can be almost nearly twice as long. The larger, more established neighborhoods in this area include White Gables and Pine Forest Country Club, plus there are some exciting new construction neighborhoods currently being developed. The current average price in Knightsville is around $415,000. All right, to recap, all the areas we've covered so far have been in Dorchester County, and as a result will be zoned for Dorchester District 2 schools, which you'll hear referred to as DD2. We have a couple of more areas to cover, so hang tight and know that the remaining areas are all in Berkeley County, and therefore they'll be zoned for Berkeley County schools. And just for your knowledge, the county line between Dorchester and Berkeley counties is right around I-26, so keep this in mind if being in a certain county or school district is important to you.
So starting again in historic Summerville and working our way out, this time we'll head east to Sangaree. So this is a large development just east of I-26 and on the south side of Highway 17 called Sangaree. The majority of the houses in Sangaree were built between the 70s and the 90s, which contribute to the architectural diversity within the neighborhood. So you'll find a lot of great ranch-style homes, which were popular during this time, as well as some modest-sized split-level and two-story homes. So most of the homes in Sangaree are on the smaller side, measuring around 1,000 up to 2,000 square feet. And this is great for those looking for starter homes or looking to downsize. So some of the best features in this area is that there's an elementary school and a middle school right within the community, along with a Berkeley County library and a few parks. The average home price in Sangaree is on the lower end for the area and right around the $310,000 mark.
All right, so when we moved here, the master plan community of Nexton was just starting, and it has been exciting to see the changes in this area. To get to Nexton, you'll cross I-26, and it's north of Highway 17. Nexton is a large master plan community that conveniently mixes work, pleasure, and homes. You'll find restaurants, retail shops, service providers, and office buildings all conveniently incorporated within the development. This is a new construction community that has won many awards and prides itself on the inclusion of recreational amenities as well as its preservation of green space. Having a golf cart is super helpful as you can take advantage of the miles of trails and paths that connect the different parts of the community. And if you keep moving east on 17, you'll come across Carnes Crossroads. This is another new construction development, and while it's not as big as Nexton, it is within the general vicinity of Nexton. A lot of new construction is still happening here and expanding towards Goose Creek. And with plans for additional amenities and commercial developments, both Nexton and Carnes Crossroads are up-and-coming active areas of Summerville. And currently, the average price in this area is about $570,000.
So last but not least, we're going to talk about Cane Bay. So Cane Bay is just northeast of Nexton and is a huge residential development. This development boasts a collection of neighborhoods built to showcase a network of small lakes and ponds. So each neighborhood has its own amenities and their own vibe, and the housing options are pretty diverse amongst the different neighborhoods. Cane Bay was started to be built around 2000 and it continues to be built today. So if you're looking for homes in Cane Bay, you'll have an option for older homes built when the community first started or new construction, as there are several areas that are still being built. Like Nexton, you'll benefit from having a golf cart to explore the trails and paths within the community. And since it's not a mixed-use development, you won't find commercial use property integrated within the community like you do in Nexton. However, commercial development is booming all around with new restaurants, retail shops, and service providers opening frequently in that area. So average price in Cane Bay is currently around $435,000.
Hopefully, our breakdown of Summerville has been helpful and helped you get to know our city a little better. We have a couple of other videos about Summerville, so be sure to check those out. And now that you know a little bit more about the diverse areas of our city, our next video will focus on fun things to do this summer in and around Summerville. The Low Country gets really hot and humid in the summer, so we'll try to give you at least a few cooler options to choose from. And to wrap things up, this quick overview of Summerville covered a lot of areas and info, but it's impossible to include everything, and there's nothing like seeing and experiencing these areas firsthand for yourself. If you're looking for someone to show you around or even do a video tours because you're not in our area and local, we'd love to help. After all, we are striving to be your community and real estate expert.